Dann verlassen wir jetzt tatsächlich Berlin und gehen an die syrisch-türkische Grenze, genauer gesagt nach Antakya. Aber eigentlich wollen wir über Syrien selbst sprechen, beziehungsweise das Syrien, das wirklich auch international anerkannt ist. Und wir werden eine Aktivistin treffen namens Helen. Und sie wird über ihr ziviles Engagement für das HUS-Zentrum in Azaz in Nordsyrien berichten. Die Initiative wurde nach der Vertreibung des Islamischen Staates, IS, aus der Region von Aktivistinnen gegründet, die aus anderen Landesteilen vertrieben wurden. Und diese Initiative hat sich zum Ziel gesetzt, lokale Initiativen vor Ort wieder zu beleben und vor allem zivilgesellschaftliches Leben wirklich wieder erlebbar zu machen, indem beispielsweise Musikunterricht gegeben wird, indem Berufsberatung geleistet wird, indem Sprachkurse gegeben werden, indem Menschen mit körperlich versehrte Menschen Angebote geboten werden. Und wir sind extrem dankbar für die sehr, sehr gut Englisch sprechende Helen, dass sie sich jetzt die Zeit nimmt und von ihrem Projekt und von ihrem Leben in Nordsyrien zu berichten. Sie hat Englisch in Damaskus studiert, der Ort, der jetzt gerade auch in meinem Hintergrund zu sehen ist. Ich sitze im Innenhof der Umayyaden-Moschee, zumindest virtuell. Und jetzt würde ich ins Englische wechseln, sodass Helen uns auch gut verstehen kann. Und bitte zunächst einmal, dass wir die Präsentation noch nicht anmachen, sondern dass wir erstmal Helen sehen und sie ein wenig erzählen kann, wie es ihr ergeht. Und so now I'll switch into English. Good evening, Masai Khair, Helen.
Hello, everyone. How are you all?
We're doing fine, and we're really excited about you speaking to us, about that you share your experiences from Al-Azaz, from Al-Hus Center with us, that you give us some context about the conditions in which you work and in which you're active. And please also feel free to shortly also introduce yourself. And it's such a pleasure to have you with us. Meet Ahlan wa Sahlan, and I'll be quiet now and give you the floor.
Thank you so much. First of all, my name is Helen. I'm originally from Damascus. I graduated there. I moved last year to Azaz to have some work there, and I lived there 1 year. I'm here on behalf of Center HUS. It's a center of social development. It's a local Syrian institution that defined itself as a youth training center and social development. And its vision always been a society that raises its homeland by itself. Originally, the idea was in 2016 under the name of HUS, which means in Arabic, the creation or the humankind. It started working actually through a group of young Syrians who moved to work actually in 2017 to find themselves in an area that suffers from two main issues. The first was the intellectual deposits of ISIS organization. The second issue, the intensive displacement cases in the region. And from here, the work began. About the geographic scope of work in which the center operates is the northern and eastern countryside of Aleppo, especially the cities of Al-Bab and Azaz. We have two centers, but the main one is Azaz, which was previously controlled by ISIS. And the presence of the Islamic State in this countryside ended through Operation Al-Furat Shield, which was led by the Turkish army. However, the city of Azaz was not included in this process, so Azaz remained exclusive in dealing with the rest of the other regions, as it didn't witness a long control of ISIS. In addition to that fact that ISIS withdrew from there without any fight or battle. This area is mainly demonstrated by military factions and local councils, both of which are supported by Turkish government. There are central local councils and local sub-councils, but the central local councils have the greatest authority, which are represented by 7 central councils, and they are Zaz, Suran, Al-Bab, Jarablus, Arai, Mara. The actual authority at the level of administrative and political and civil work is for the local councils, and normally the councils are civil. Work is for the local councils. And normally the councils are supported by the authority of the Turkish government. There are always Turkish advisors in the local councils who follow up the work on each file. In terms of political work, we believe that there is no suitable political space for work, but there are attempts to form political activities that have a political character, but there is no political body. So that there are clear practices, but the work focuses more on the societal structure. So we believe that it opposes the process of forming the identity of the region through a large number of Syrians gathering in the area after the massive displacement from all Syria to this region. We would like to mention that the region was witnessed a lot of reception operations of immigrants. This gave a major change in the context of the region in terms of the cultural status, and also we can say even the political situation means that there has become a kind of political activity after the arrival of the displaced. As there has become a movement on a different level, a demand for participation in governance process. In addition to the fact that the laws of local administration in Syria are not friendly to the displaced, because there are no old laws related to these displaced. The organizations work there in the region in more than one aspect. One of them is coordination with the Turkish states, which is affiliated to it. It's as the city of Azaz affiliated to Turkish state of Kilis, and the city of Al-Bab affiliated to the state of Aintab, and etc. And work is as follows. There are Turkish institutions that enter to work in the region by coordinating and signing protocols with the states. And on the other hand, there are local civil society institutions, which are Syrian institutions, and of course we are part of these institutions. We work individually, we do not follow any political body, and there is no coordination with any other parties, because it is basically we do not have presence and we do not have access to outside Syria. And yet we face some harassment at this level, but we consider, let me say that workspace differs from one place to another. And here I want to mention the privacy of the city of Azaz that I mentioned before, as Azaz was not part of Operation Al-Furat Shield. So things are easier here, and I will mention to you some of the wide different and unique activities of the Hus Center, in which only civil society institutions operate here in Syria, as I mentioned previously. Because there is no state or subordination to a clear political body or other institutions that carry out this important rule and cultural awareness and political activities. So you will notice the activities are very extensive. It must be noted here that the population of the region, for example, the city of Azaz before the displacement operations, there is approximately near to the number of 60,000 people, but the number now is 250 or 300,000 people. And here I will mention these statistics are accurate. Now let me speak about the work with whose center. At the beginning, we worked on a bridging project, which is facilitates dialogue or discussions sessions with a number of actors or doers in the ground to create dialogue channels between them, and also worked on establishing committees to settle conflicts between the displaced and the people of the region, which contributed to resolving more than 25 problems in Al-Bab and Azaz cities, and held accountability sessions between the local council and the citizens of Azaz city. And we worked with the annotators with the Syrian Women Project. Through this project, we provided training on international laws, CEDAW, if you're familiar with this thing, and advocacy mechanism for women's issue. And one of the most important activity was the cinema club. Through this club, the center offers cinematic screenings for documentary history films, especially on the Syrian revolution. And this club, the center has shown dozens of films and also provides a library of films for those who are interested. Among the activities also was a book reading activity. Here one of the visitors proposed a book to read and provides summary of the proposed book and discusses the summary with a number of attendees. And of course, there is a library available here to visitors with about 800 books for loan. One of the center's periodic activities also is established trainings. Titles differed between first aid, community health, languages, photography, audio commentary, human development, etc., etc., etc. On the training level, we started to take another way to plan for these trainings, as we took a new way to provide these trainings. So we worked on design a training package with a specific goal. As an example, who's a package, which aimed to enabling young people, to men and women, to professionally manage with office work. It includes 4 titles: office programs, accounting, archiving, English language, which is related to the same context. And actually, we worked on the Youth Towards the Future project, the project named by the Youth Towards the Future included as a set of training activities for young people, including training and drawing, and the output and art gallery was held, and the chess league and training. It was the first regional chess before and after the revolution. The center has a contribution at the artistic level to support young people who have artistic talent. We launched also a song to a man called, I think, Wisam Hero. The song was named Sarut. And we try to make a training like music, guitar, violin, etc. But we couldn't because of the environmental there. During the entire work, of course, the focus on women and the displaced has played a major role in the activities of the center on both levels, as beneficiaries and as employees. So we are working to have employees and beneficiaries of women and displaced. And the most lovely and amazing project we did last year or this year, I was in there and I had so much fun. I had so much energy, and this project was named Antami. In English means belong, I belong. Anta, me. In Arabic, Anta means you, me, in English, me. So we make it last in month August or before August, I think, as I remember. So that project, we tried to create a new planning approach based on youth as a basic tool for change. The project includes a package of planning exercises, planning exercises aimed at planning based on community development approach with social capital tools. This project, I get confused because I'm one of these people in the picture. This project included the first external training experience in the region in the form of camping in the lands near the city of Azaz. That was the first experience, actually. And so many people copied from us. The outputs of this project are for local initiatives based on local resources. The first one was the Ploto campaign. Is a campaign that aims to highlight of youth to recognize education. I think there the high school or the college, no one say there is any in Azaz and the northern countryside. So they are fighting for this right, for them rights. The second one is My Place Is Not Here campaign, aims to highlight child labor. Children belong to schools. And campaign with team named Be Strong, and to promote participation by war wounded and disabled people. And finally, currently the center is working on launching its own website, establishing a studio and recording. The purpose is to expand the beneficiaries base in the center. And reach the center's outputs to largest number of Syrians, and reduce the activities inside the center to reduce crowding due to COVID-19. The last 3 or I think no, 6 months, COVID-19 arrived to us, and we have some or a lot of people was there who had COVID-19. And I think I finished my presentation.
Yes, thank you so much, Helen. We've been learning a lot, and I would like to express my really deep admiration for all the work you do. Like people that have been forcibly displaced from Damascus, from Deir ez-Zor, from Aleppo.
We worked on these from Deir ez-Zor, from Homs, Damascus, Hama, Palmyra, everywhere from Syria. They are crowded there in the northern countryside, and Idlib and northern countryside of Aleppo.
Listening to you was a big inspiration. I think it's amazing.
Actually, it's my first time.
You offer so many extracurricular activities.
I apologize for my my English is too weak, and I'm so confused.
We have received a question from a person called Kerstin, and she is interested in who is visiting your program. Is it Arabs? Is it Kurds? Is it mainly young adults? Who decides who is allowed to come? Do you have a focus on a special group of people? Who is working with you? How big is your team? Where does the money come from? Wow, a lot of questions at the same time. Maybe you can explain a bit.
I think I have most of the answers. I was working there like coordinator there, but the focus was on everyone. Actually, Arab, Kurd, anyone can visit there and have the education, anything they want. We didn't say that this one is Kurd. No, we don't want to have it in our center. It's not our center. It's from its name, it's the humankind. So the name was on purpose to refer that we are working with everyone, not just Arab or just Muslim or anyone. We work for everyone, you know. The money comes from some organizations who has some connection with us. And I don't know, did I have to... What else did she ask?
I would like to also mention in this particular instance, Adopt a Revolution, an organization that Germany-based organization that supports Al Hus Center, and we share the link also about the way how you can support Al Hus Center as well. So please do that again, dear colleagues in the background.
Thank you.
Another question, Helen, about COVID-19. Could you describe the situation regarding COVID-19 in Azaz and the surrounding? Is it a big phenomena? Are a lot of people affected? Is there a lot of tests going on? Is there are people wearing masks? Things like that we received as a question.
Actually, there are many people affected from COVID-19. People at first, the first year of COVID or the first 9 months, we didn't have any affected. But the rest of this year, it arrives to us. The situation it's not nice. It's not good actually, but everyone working on it. Every institution, every person try to spread the knowledge of COVID-19. They are wearing masks. The old people didn't find it nice, but we had to spread this idea of the masks and you know washing your hands. And we had some of the lectures to let the people know how to deal with the COVID-19.
Okay, thank you, Helen. So as I don't see any questions from other people, I will raise one last question. And this is about the future. How do you envision the future in Al-Azaz? Do you expect some kind of stabilization with regards to like human security, or what is your perspective on the next years?
From my perspective, not them, I think everything is open to any, anything will happen there. Maybe the regime will back and people will flee again from there. There's a huge population there actually because of the displacement. I think I have to wish luck, some people say that the city will be stable and everything will be okay. But there is some people are afraid from the regime back, if you understand what I'm saying. But I think, and we pray to God, everything will be okay. Actually, I have to mention something. The last year in the center, in front of the center, the building of the center, there was a car explosion, and we deal with it. There was blood, and I remember that day. That was the most horrible day I ever experienced. Actually, I flee to here from from there because I think it's not good, to live in there. Actually, it's hard to explain the experience, but I think we stand up again and make it okay, everything's okay, and rebuild the center, and everyone back, and everyone was happy. Actually, I think everything's gonna be okay.